Okay, let's unpack this. You know how some stories just absolutely pull you in from the very first page?
Oh, definitely.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly one of those. Yasmine Galenorn's Night Myst. Now, obviously, it's fiction, a really thrilling read.
Hmm.
But for our purposes today, we're treating it as our source material. We're going to extract all the fascinating insights we can find into its, really intricate world, the characters, the conflicts.
You just explode off the page, like you said.
Exactly. And critics really rave about this Otherworld series. They talk about its action and sexy sensuality, the quirky humor and character.
Right, and that delivery style, what was it? A boot to the head one moment and a full-mouth kiss the next.
Yeah. So basically, buckle up. We're about to uncover some pretty dynamic stuff here.
What's really fascinating to me is just how quickly the stakes get established, like right away.
No kidding.
Yeah, the author, Galenorn, she doesn't waste any time layering in so much critical information right at the start.
Right.
So our mission, really, in this deep dive is to walk you through those initial chapters.
Right.
We want to distill the key stuff you need to understand this unique supernatural ecosystem, the complex web of allegiances, and our protagonist's journey, which is pretty intense from the get-go.
Okay, so let's set that scene then. We meet Cicely Waters. She's a magic-born witch, and she has this really unique bond with a wind elemental named Ulin.
Very cool concept.
And we find her returning to her childhood home, New Forest. This is after years on the road with her mom, Crystal, which sounds like it was, well, pretty tough.
Yeah, not exactly a gentle homecoming.
Not at all. What kicks it off?
Well, the catalyst for her return is almost like immediate and dire. Her elemental, Ulin, gives her this urgent warning. Her Aunt Heather and Cousin Rhiannon are in trouble, big trouble.
Okay.
And that's followed like bam, immediately by the shocking news of Marta's death. Marta's the town witch, an elder in this secret group, the 13 Moon Society.
And how did she die? It wasn't simple, was it?
No, far from it. Found drained of blood, throat ripped apart, just brutal.
Wow.
So it's not just a death, it's a statement. A horrifyingly specific, almost ritualistic kind of killing.
So that tells you something right away.
Exactly. Two things, really. One, the Magic-Born are definitely being targeted explicitly. And two, whatever's doing this isn't just powerful, it's savage. Utterly savage.
Cicely walks right into this crisis.
Head first. Completely unprepared. It sets this tone of urgent, escalating danger right from page one.
And she feels it too, right, when she gets back to New Forest.
Instantly, yeah. She steps back into this familiar place, but she knows deep down something is fundamentally off.
That gut feeling.
And it gets validated almost immediately. She learns about disappearances, other deaths, all targeting the Magic-Born. It's this atmosphere of, like, creeping dread hanging over the town.
And then there's the Marta connection again.
Yeah.
The legacy.
Yes. After Marta's death, this surprising legacy comes out. Marta left her entire witch business, everything, and her place in the 13 Moon Society to Cicely.
Whoa. Talk about pressure.
Right. A huge responsibility she never saw coming. But she feels compelled. You know, she has to accept it, step into this role she never anticipated.
It raises that question you mentioned.
Exactly. Why Cicely? What did Marta foresee? It feels very much like destiny or maybe prophecy unfolding.
Okay, so unexpected roles, prophecy. That brings us to the antagonists, right? The big threat.
The Indigo Court, yeah.
Yeah.
Introduced initially as this mysterious force.
But it gets way more concrete, doesn't it? With Rhiannon.
Oh, yeah. Rhiannon, Cicely's cousin, she involuntarily channels this chilling message, goes into a trance and says, "The Indigo Court has risen. The hunt has begun. All of my enemies tremble with desire and let your hearts fear."
Chilling. That's not just a threat, that's...
A declaration of war. Paints this vivid picture of a really formidable, terrifying new power stepping onto the stage.
And what are they exactly? Not just vampires.
No, and that's what makes them so terrifying. Their origin, they're not your standard vamps, they're not standard fae, they are vampiric fae.
Vampiric fae? How does that even happen?
Well, it goes back 1,000 years. An ancient conflict. The vampire nation, led by Geoffrey the Great back then, tried to sire, essentially control, a group of dark fae.
Okay.
But these fae, they resisted being fully turned, fully subservient.
Oh.
They kept their magic but gained vampire strength. So they evolved into these shadow-aligned predators.
Go feed on.
Both. Blood and energy. And their queen, Myst, apparently born from the blood of the dead during that ancient war.
Wow. So they're like a living consequence of an old magical experiment gone wrong.
Exactly. It's a fantastic twist on the lore. Makes them incredibly formidable unpredictable, ancient mistakes, like you said, coming back to haunt everyone.
And that history, that origin, connects directly to what's happening in New Forest now.
Precisely. Myst, their queen, has taken control of the forest right next to Vale House, Cicely's home.
Which explains the targeting.
It directly explains the systematic targeting, yeah. The eradication of the 13 Moon Society members. And Marta's actions before she died, closing her practice, getting tons of requests for protection charms, it all points to this dread that had already started creeping in before Cicely even got back.
Okay, so the threat is ancient, powerful, and right on her doorstep. But the world isn't just black and white, good versus evil here, is it? The alliances seem messy.
Oh, incredibly messy, deeply complicated alliances, shifting loyalties. Cicely gets thrown right into navigating this treacherous network, and it's anything but straightforward.
Let's talk about Grieve, her
Yeah.
former Fae love.
Yeah.
Now part of the Indigo Court. How does that work? Talk about complicated.
It's intensely complex. He's essentially with the enemy now, but he warns Cicely away, tells her to leave New Forest, leave the woods.
So he still cares.
It seems like it. There's this residual affection, definitely signs of an internal conflict. And he's also a Canberra Fae, a shifting one. He can turn into a wolf.
And what about his companion, Chatter?
Right, Chatter. He's loyal to Grieve, seems to be part of the Indigo Court too, but he actually gives Cicely crucial information, helps her out.
Huh. So even within the Indigo Court, it's not monolithic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hints at some nuanced dynamics there. And then you have the other major power player, the Vampire Nation.
Ancient ones?
The really ancient ones, headed by Lord Geoffrey, nearly 2,000 years old, regent for North America. And get this, rumor has it he actually sired Myst, the Indigo Queen, way back when.
Seriously. Okay, layers upon layers.
Totally.
Oh.
And they're represented in the present by Regina, who's a powerful emissary, and her brother, Lannon, who has the power of the Blood Oracle. Very unsettling.
So why are these ancient vampires suddenly interested in Cicely?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Their strategic interest. They see her as a catalyst.
A catalyst.
For a prophesied war with the Indigo Court. Their goal, apparently, is to use her to rectify a mistake they made millennia ago. Presumably the mistake of creating the vampiric fae in the first place.
So it's not just about Cicely's survival. It's ancient supernatural politics playing out through her.
Precisely. It frames the whole conflict on a much grander, more historical scale.
And they don't exactly ask nicely for her help, do they?
Not even close.
Yeah.
If you thought things were bad for Cicely, imagine ancient vampires basically strong-arming you.
Yeah.
She's forced into this harrowing choice. Accept a contract to spy on the Indigo Court for the vampires. Or face, well, dire consequences. Unspecified, but clearly bad.
So her agency is just immediately challenged. She's a pawn.
Absolutely. High stakes right from the start. And it highlights how little control she actually has in this bigger game, at least initially.
And this leads to that encounter with Crawl.
Ugh, yeah, Crawl. The Blood Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient, grotesque. Serves the Vampire Nation, sometimes called the Crimson Court, by the way, because of their blood-soaked history.
Okay.
Cicely is forced, literally forced, to give a blood offering to get his cryptic visions. It's a really dark, visceral scene. Shows the kind of personal sacrifices she's already having to make just to get scraps of information in this world.
But amidst all this external pressure and danger, there's also something happening within Cicely, right? An awakening.
Yes, absolutely. Beyond just dealing with the threats, the narrative is very much about her warrior's awakening, discovering her own powers, her true heritage.
We know about her bond with Uline, the wind elemental.
Right, which is already pretty cool. But then she discovers she can shift, turn into an owl.
An owl.
Yeah. It's a manifestation of her Uilla-side lineage that's Canberra Fae, like Grieve from her father's side.
So she's part Fae.
Exactly. It deepens her connection to that world, gives her new abilities, flight, reconnaissance. It basically unlocks a whole new level of who she is and what she can do.
And she needs allies to figure all this out, presumably. She can't do it alone.
Definitely not. And what's amazing is how quickly she starts to adapt and gather this support network, even though she's mostly self-taught magically.
Who steps up?
Well, first there's Anity. That's Marta's daughter. She's a scholar, knows mythology, folklore.
Ah, useful.
Very. She helps Rhiannon harness her own repressed fire powers.
Yeah, Rhiannon has fire powers, and Anity immediately sees Cicely's true potential, recognizes the Fae heritage.
Yeah.
Then there's Anity's daughter, Peyton Moonrunner. Get this. Half were, half magic-born, psychic investigator and martial artist.
Whoa. That's a combination.
Right, and she already wants to open a magical investigation shop with Cicely. Foreshadowing.
Love it. Who else?
Kaylin Chen. He's a dreamwalker, over a century old. Can see and talk to ghosts. His dead parents are actually his guardians.
Seriously, that's amazing.
Yeah, brings unique skills, astral combat, stealth. Very useful.
All right.
And finally, there's Leo, Rhiannon's fiancé. He's a day runner for the Vampire Nation.
Wait, working for the vampires?
Yeah, but seems loyal to Rhiannon first.
Mhm.
Provides crucial protection, resources. It's complicated. But they form this unlikely, pretty formidable team. Okay, so she's got backup. She's discovering powers.
Mhm.
But then there's a major personal blow, isn't there? With Heather.
Yeah, just devastating. Heather, her aunt. Cicely finds out she's been turned. She's now one of them. A vampiric fae of the Indigo Court.
Oh no, how can they tell?
Her eyes. They're described as sparkling black, like they're full of stars. It's the sign. It just hits Cicely so hard, makes the threat incredibly personal and immediate. It's not just random magic born anymore. It's family.
And this ties into something bigger the vampires are doing.
It seems so. There's this mention of a plague or a virus. It's revealed, sort of implicitly, that the Crimson Court, the Vampire Nation, used Cicely somehow to spread it to the Indigo Court.
Used her. How?
It's not entirely clear how the transmission worked, maybe through that forced blood offering to Crawl, maybe just proximity. But this affliction, it incapacitates the vampiric fae during the day.
Ah, leveling the playing field.
Exactly. But it also amplifies their inner beast, makes them more volatile, more dangerous, but less rational, less strategic.
So it's a calculated move by the vampires. Risky, but calculated.
Definitely. Playing chess with these incredibly dangerous pieces, using biological warfare, essentially, in a supernatural conflict.
Okay, so all these pieces are moving. The threat, the alliances, Cicely's powers, this plague. It all leads to a confrontation, right? A rescue mission.
Yes. It culminates in this really perilous mission to rescue Peyton, the psychic investigator friend.
Where is she?
She's been taken. Trapped in the Marbury Barrow, which turns out to be the Indigo Court's hidden lair. And it's protected by this tricky, deceptive fairy ring trap.
Sounds like walking into the lion's den.
Pretty much. A suicide mission, like you said earlier. And it leads to brutal combat.
Against?
The Shadow Hunters, the Indigo Fae Warriors. The team's diverse skills get put to the absolute test. Cicely with her wind-manipulating fan, Rhiannon blasting fire, Kaelin with daggers and nunchakus, Leo using his staff for defense.
Just chaos.
Intense, violent skirmishes. Every single ability is critical just for them to survive moment to moment.
And during this, they learn something even more horrifying about the Indigo Court.
Yeah, something truly chilling about their feeding frenzies.
What is it?
They don't just turn victims or feed lightly. They consume them entirely, including children, women. And they feed on fear just as much as they feed on flesh and energy.
Oh my God. Consuming everything. Children feeding on fear.
Yeah. It just takes the horror to a whole different level. Raises the stakes immensely for Peyton, obviously, and anyone else missing. He shows they're not just predators, they're monstrous in a way that's hard to comprehend.
Do they find Peyton?
They do. She's found naked, traumatized, but alive. And crucially, she confirms she can shift into a cougar form.
A cougar. Wow. So her rare heritage.
Exactly. And that skill becomes absolutely vital for them to escape the barrow.
So after all that trauma and violence, where does it leave Cicely?
Well, by the time the dust settles on that rescue, she seems to have fully embraced her shifting identity. She's actively using the owl form for flight, for freedom, for reconnaissance. She's mastering it.
And her connection to Lonuli.
Yes. Lane Yule, the queen of rivers and rushes, an ancient, powerful being. Her connection to Cicely is confirmed, and Lane Yule reveals her own motivations for bringing Cicely back into this world, back to New Forest.
So there's another layer of ancient powers involved.
Oh, yeah. It sets the stage for an even grander, more complex conflict to come. It's clear Cicely isn't just a witch caught in the crossfire. She's a key piece in a very ancient, very powerful game being played by multiple factions.
Okay, so let's recap this deep dive into the start of Night Myst. We've seen New Forest basically transform from this quiet, maybe slightly weird town into a full-blown battleground.
Absolutely. Battleground for these ancient supernatural factions.
And Cicely herself. Wow, what an evolution. From this woman running from her past to a powerful witch, embracing a really complicated Fae heritage, taking on responsibility she never asked for.
Yeah, her transformation is rapid and profound. And if you connect it to the bigger picture, the story isn't just, a magical war narrative.
Yeah.
It's really about finding your place when your world is suddenly turned upside down. It's about understanding these incredibly complex power dynamics, some of which are thousands of years old.
And the cost.
And the personal cost, yeah. The brutal cost of survival when alliances are constantly shifting and your enemies are truly monstrous. It really makes you question the lines between hero and villain sometimes.
Definitely. How much you'd sacrifice.
Exactly. How much you'd be willing to do or become to protect the people you care about.
So she's caught between the cold, calculating ruthlessness of the vampire nation, the savage, almost elemental chaos of the Indigo Court,
Right.
and now the ancient, hidden machinations of Lionel. She's rescued her friend, she's embraced her owl-shifting fey self, but Grieve, her love, seems lost to the darkness.
Yeah, that's a huge unresolved thread.
Her own hands are stained by the conflict, this plague is out there. It leaves you wondering what new depths will she be forced to explore, both in herself and in this dangerous world.
And what's the ultimate cost going to be?
Yeah.
For victory, or even just survival. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Leaves you wanting to know what happens next.
It really does. Well, thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive.